Hi and welcome back, guys. This is just my end of year review, just so you've got an idea of what I've done with my watches this year, what I've brought, what I've sold, and where the channel's basically heading. Before I start, I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who watches my videos, any of you guys who leave constructive feedback and so forth. A big thank you. Anyway, so one of the first watches I sold this year was my Hoffman Racing 40 mechanical. It was a super watch. Couldn't really fault it after I got it back from being fixed. Lovely looking seagull movement, but it just wasn't for me. I don't know, I never found myself wearing it, so I sold it. One of the other watches I also sold was one of my Marine Master 200 Great Blue Holes. I still think it was my watch of the year last year. I loved it. Nothing wrong with this watch at all, but I brought this one at such a bargain that I'd have been mad not to, and it helped purchase one of my watches I later got. Now, the other Seiko I sold this year was my 7C43. Again, this was a bit of a vintage classic one, really, and was something very different. And not many people actually recognised what it was. They all thought it was an SKX, but this was so much more than that, really. But the prices started climbing on them, and I just thought, well, I can get a watch I really do like if I was to sell this watch. So that's what I did, and unfortunately that one did go. Now this one next is more controversial, especially for me, because everyone knows me as a bit of a Vizin fan, and I actually sold my 556 anniversary model. Now, a lot of you may have thought I was crazy for doing this, but at the time I got hold of another 556, and I simply prefer that watch more. So that went, unfortunately, the way it did. So now to the watches I actually brought.
First up is this Smith's PRS40. Now this is a bit of a Marmite watch, we'd say. You either love or hate it. It's got a complete unique case design, the way the strap links through, its integral lugs. It's completely out there. I like its kind of retro sci-fi look. It's something really different. Next up, we have Vizin 556A. Now, this was the whole reason why I sold the anniversary, because I had both watches for some time and basically just found myself never wearing the 556 anniversary anymore. The simple fact is, I just prefer the dial of the of the A model. I love its quintessential 12369 Sin signature kind of to it, and yeah, there's no point in me keeping a watch I simply didn't wear. So next up, I got myself a Seiko Saab. I love its simplicity. I love its cream dial, the hands. I'm not so keen on the bracelet, to be fair. I don't think it works quite as well as a nice brown leather strap. It just feels right on the wrist. I really do like it. Next, I found myself buying another Zin. I know, not like me. I was never a big fan of the 104 until I got hold of one, and I love it. I love the bezel action. I love it's got a bit more polishing on it. Now, I don't particularly like fully polished watches, but the polishing seems to bring it up. It gives it almost an air of more expense versus my EZM range of Zin watches. But that's just possibly. I also find it's really good on other straps as well. It does look great. Next up, now I don't know if I can really count this really, because it's not actually my watch, it's the other half's. She loves it. It's the Seiko Baby Tuna Save the Ocean. Now, she says it's a very feminine watch with the dial, and especially on the grey strap. Some people agree, some people don't. So, what's your take on that? Now, next, I got myself a Spinnaker Croft mid-size. Now, this watch is just really cool, and it was just, I got it at a bargain, so I really like its kind of vintagey feel in when new. Now, one of the other watches I've got, and I've left this till last, because really I think this is my watch of the year, for me anyway, even though it's an older watch out of my purchases, it's the Oris 65 Diver. I love this watch. It's, I don't know, I've started to find myself buying smaller watches. I don't know why, but um, it just feels right. I love its stone crystal. It's just, again, it's one of those watches, it's hard to quantify in words what it actually is, which is so pleasing about it, but it just feels right. I love the dial, the distortion, the loom, everything about it. It just is great. Now, as for the how the channel's going this year, for the first time ever, I've actually got companies sending me watches out to review. We had Marlowe at the early few months ago. We've had the EPOS sent me out a beautiful watch from Switzerland for me to review. I've got an AV8 watch. I need to get a review actually very soon of that. And we've got people like other companies coming in the new year also sending watches. So this is only really happening because of you guys. So watching the video. So cheers. Anyway, all the best. Thanks for watching the video, and let me know, what do you think what would be your watch you prefer most out of the ones I've got this year? Okay, all the best. Bye.